And so the idea that we're emotional beings first before we're logical beings. And so this is one of the great studies. I don't know if you guys, this is the benefit of being a therapist before you're a mom, is that I was doing all these things to my babies. And I'd sit there and I'd look at them and I would do this face. And if you waited long enough, your baby actually mirrors you back. They're very sensory oriented and they're looking and cueing in. They notice all of our emotions at that age. That sticks with them all the way, and they're hyper aware. And as they get into the teenage years, they're still cueing into your facial expressions. If I say, I love you. It doesn't feel really warm and fuzzy, does it? Or if I say, you're grounded. Oh gosh, they cued in. They're a pushover. I'm going to know what to do here, okay? So they're cueing in to more than just our words. It's our emotions, our facial expressions. All of what we're doing is playing into that amygdala, whether they're going to fight or flight, okay? But the key that I want us to remember is that emotions are a signal. They're not the siren. They're not the enemy, they're not the fire, they're the cue. Listen to them. So if your teen is angry at you, to not go, oh, they're rebellious. It's just more of a, something's going on. It's a siren. Or they're withdrawn, they've been hanging out in their room and they don't really want to talk. What's going on? They've been crying a lot. Okay, they're sirens. Pay attention to them. And they're a reflection of actually God's character. God is an emotional God. He's also logical too. But if you look, he feels so many of the emotions throughout. He's a jealous God. He's an angry God. He's a compassionate God. He loves us. Jesus weeps when he knows he's going to be raising the dead. He knows what's going to happen logically, but he still weeps with his friends when they are weeping because their Lazarus is dead. There's lots of emotions that we're allowed to feel. We just don't want to get stuck there. And what happens when we get stuck is our lids flip, okay? So if you get anything out of today, this is what I want you to get. Everybody hold up your hands. Close your thumb. Lay it down. So, my emotional part of the brain, my logical part of the brain, the sirens are going off, then everyone open? Now I'm separate, I'm not connected, I'm not integrated, I'm all emotional, I'm fight or flight now. And the only way for us to close our lid is to have somebody else be able to be the thermostat, to calm us down, to stay steady, or to give us 30 minutes. If we waited 30 minutes, my husband and I do this all the time. We're in the middle of this, and I'm feeling it, I'm going to flip my lid, and I go, I need 30 minutes. He knows what I'm doing. I'm going and I'm, slamming dishes and doing my thing, getting my anger out, and I can come back and talk to him more calmly, okay? I know what he does. He goes out in the woods and cools off in creation, comes back, okay? So both of us have learned ways we're trying to calm our brain. So time can do that. Give your kids some space. Let them go in their room, turn on their music, chill. We'll talk about this again in a half hour. We're both overwhelmed. Our lids are flipped. And the more that we're engaging each other like this, the more damage we do. Because we're now in that primal place. We say things we don't mean, and your teens will say things they don't mean in vicious ways. And if we don't take it personal, we go, oh, their lids just flipped. Then we can get over it faster, right? But just kind of remembering that the siren, the emotions are a siren that we're going to be heading towards flipping our lids if one of us doesn't remain calm and use some of the techniques that I'm going to give you here with kind of healthy communication. But this is really a powerful thing, is that teens' lids are flipping all the time. And part of the learning from 12 to 24 is learning how to regulate that, how to keep it calmer, how to learn what helps me calm down. Your teens need help figuring that out. Talking. So once your kid talks, I was going to go commit suicide, but now the world is over. Honestly, that's how far it can go. there's this overwhelming sense of life is ending. Or I hate you, I'm moving out now. Good, go get an apartment. And then, I love you, what's for dinner? That's a part of why we can see a Jekyll and a Hyde in such different parts of our kids and of each other. Has anyone else had a flipping the lid experience on themselves? Pretty common for all of us. And if you pay closer attention, you kind of learn what is helpful for you. As an adult in a teen's life, you need to know your own ways of calming your brain. Okay, so for me, I journal. Because otherwise I would talk my husband's ear off and his little flip, and we don't do well there. But I journal, I run, I listen to music, I do something like cook a meal. That seems to be really helpful for me, and I've learned that. And sometimes I just need nothing, no stimulation at all. Turn off the lights, just sit and be, and then I'm calm again. And you can literally feel that brain. Okay? Another way that it helps is if you can't regulate yourself, which most teens can't early on, and we're trying to teach them how, is you can actually help them calm their brain if you can stay calm. If your lid is flipped, you can't do this. But if you are calm, you can mirror back what you're seeing and hearing. So mirroring is simply repeating what counselors do. So what I hear you saying, and when you hear your words back, what you speak with is different than what you hear with. So when your kids hear their words back, not only does it tell them that you're listening, but it also helps them make sense of what they're trying to say. Okay? And they might change it 3 or 4 times after they hear it, depending on the kid. If they're a circular verbal processor, they're going to change it 3 or 4 times before they get to what they really meant. If they're a kid who doesn't talk at all, this can be a pretty quick process. But by hearing back the simple, you're mad, then, okay, you're mad. You might have to ask more clarifying questions. What's making you mad? I don't want to talk about it. I'm hear it back. You don't want to talk about it. I left it. I'm sitting right here with you. But you don't want to talk about it. Okay. I'm just going to wait. I need some time and space. I don't like you sitting right there. Okay, you need time and space. I'll go ahead and leave. You don't want me here. Okay. But I'm not going anywhere until that's the cue. Because they're probably doing, I don't know, I used to do this. Maybe I do it a little bit still. But sometimes I'll get mad at my husband, march off. See if he's following me? Okay. That's the teenage brain. We all have it, but that's what they're feeling too. Sometimes it's like, I'm going to kick and scream and see if you're still following me. See if you're still, okay? And if we can just hang with them, mirror back what they're saying, the brain's starting to calm down. They're hearing their words back. The next piece is being able to validate what they're saying. So you start mirroring with the content of what they're saying. And then you're going to move to, can you see where they're coming from? It may make no logical sense, one bit. But if you put their glasses on, and you see it from their world, their teenage brain, the experiences, the way they perceived it, oh, I can see why you would feel that way. I can see why this breakup feels like the end for you. You really loved this guy. And in my head I'm thinking, you don't even know what love is. I don't see that. Okay, do not say that. I just say, wow, I can totally see that. I can see how hard this is. And what makes it even worse is you have to see him every day at school. So you've also heard that he likes so-and-so. Yeah, that's hard. Okay. So validating is not agreeing. And if we can get over that, for those of us that are very logical and, want to stick with the facts, if we can get over that, just say, you know what, part of what we're doing, we're just trying to calm that brain and make you feel connected, like you're not alone in the world. And it cues us in to remember those earlier things. Is this a typical teenage thing? Or is this something that I need to be concerned help. Okay, so when we can listen like this, we can get into that a little bit more. But to validate,